refugee camps are never much fun, but this one looks sort of particularly inhospitable. I mean, in Serbia and Macedonia and all the others, there's always sort of a hubbub. Here, you just see, it's quite eerie, really. It's just these saggy tents and no sign of the refugees at all. Outside the camp, along with the press, there are 4 buses lined up here. They've been here for over 4 hours now. There are children who've just been cooped up for hours and look very uncomfortable. One man actually held his baby out of the window shouting, "Oxygen, oxygen." I did manage to speak to one of the men on one of the buses.
But then all night we were walking through the border from Serbia to Hungary. We were walking through the whole night. Many babies are there, many women, many grandmas there. They say they're gonna put something in our hand which makes us go around Europe. That helps us to go around Europe safely without any trouble.
Do you know if you'll have to, will you be fingerprinted, do you know?
They said that maybe later inside Hungary they're gonna fingerprint us, but I don't know. We don't want to fingerprint us here, but maybe they'll force us.
I'm getting little glimpses of what life must be like from people who are there. Yesterday evening I actually travelled alongside a whole group of Syrian refugees. They were immediately met by an awful lot of police who brought them to the camp here. And this morning I started getting messages from some of them. They haven't been told what's going to happen to them. They say nobody speaks English. Whenever they ask questions, they're not given any answers at all. They've been given a little snip of paper around their wrist, a bit like sort of an old hospital tag, and it has a barcode on it. They don't know what it means or what it will do, what access it gives them. They were actually asking me whether it meant they were now a product, they haven't been told anything at all. And now they're just waiting.
Ranveen Rana in Hungary. You're listening to the BBC World Service. Still to come here in the newsroom. Why a ban on beef has sent hundreds of Kashmiris out into the streets in protest. But first, Natalia has the headlines this hour.
British MPs have emphatically rejected legislation that would have given terminally ill patients the right to ask doctors for help to die. Germany is mobilising soldiers to stand ready for emergencies when another 40,000 migrants arrive in the country this weekend. France has opened a murder inquiry into the death of a cabinet minister who was deemed to have taken his own life 36 years ago. And more than 50 people have died after a crane collapsed in the Grand Mosque in Mecca in Saudi Arabia.
24 hours without shots being fired and without casualties in eastern Ukraine, that counts as an achievement. Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko said the ceasefire agreement between government forces and pro-Russian rebels appear to be holding. He said it's a positive sign, but he warned that a large amount of Russian troops and military hardware remains on Ukrainian territory.
The recent Normandy format talks 2 days ago strengthening my feeling of cautious optimism. May ceasefire in place for the almost 2 weeks and not a dream anymore. However, the drama is still far from being over, as the Russian aggressor is still standing with dozens of thousands of troops and countless heavy weapons, tanks, artillery, multiple rocket launch systems, missiles, and other military equipment not only at our gates, but also on our soil.
I asked our correspondent in the Ukrainian capital, Kiev, David Stern, how significant this ceasefire is.
Very significant. How significant will remain to be seen, obviously, because if it lasts longer or if it ends. But it should be said that this is a 24-hour period without any firing, following on over a week period where there has been a much lower level of violence. Before this period, we were seeing upwards of 100 instances of shellings overnight or in a 24-hour period, sometimes as much as 160. Within the last week or so, it's dropped down to 2 to 4, and now, as we've heard, in just the last 24 hours, it's gone down to 0.
And why do you think this lull is happening now?
Well, this is the big question. Is this a lull that indicates that there's momentum in the peace process, or is this something that will end? We have seen de-escalations before. If you remember, there was originally a ceasefire introduced in February, which really never took hold, but it did result in somewhat lower level. But what the hope is now is that there's momentum for the peace process. We're going to have a meeting among the 4 leaders of France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia fairly soon. And the hope is that they will be able to come up with some sort of final agreement, or at least another big push towards resolving the conflict.
As President Poroshenko said, a large amount of Russian troops, he says, and military hardware remain